time for the Pucking Around podcast. Puck around and find out. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Pucking Around podcast. Let's see. We got a bunch of... we don't have a bunch of things. We don't have a lot for you tonight, but we will be doing a redraft of the 2019 draft. And that is where Cole Caufield comes from for all you Habs fans. But before we do get to that, tragedy struck the NHL. It's about 12 days ago when Johnny Gaudreau and his brother Matthew were biking and were run over by a drunk driver. And I don't know what else to say there. So I'm going to let Cam tell you a little bit more about that. And yeah, take it away, Cam.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Pucking Around podcast. Before we get started, we wanted to dedicate tonight's episode to Johnny and Matt Gaudreau, who the world lost too soon to a tragic car accident, as Rick had said. Our thoughts and hearts continue to go out to the Gaudreau family during this hard time, and we offer a moment of silence in honor of their memory. All right, thank you guys for partaking in that. In lighter news, we have a good episode for you guys tonight. As Rick mentioned, we're going to discuss the 2019 NHL draft, but we're going to redraft that draft for the original top 15 picks. And to lead us off with that tonight will be our own Harry Rice of Rice Chips.
Thank you. Unfortunately, I no longer have the Rice Chips due to the flood that took place. However,
you fraud!
All right, so
all we brought you on the show for was those damn chips.
You lost the chips?
Yeah, they were on the floor. They got
God, were you insured? Because that's a valuable bag of chips.
Dude, we were going to open that bag of chips at Rick's funeral. What are we doing?
No.
I'll get another bag of chips.
Shit, I was waiting for to say Rick.
It wants the sentimental value, though. It's not the same.
That is true. Sentimental value. Everybody tuning in for the redraft is listening to this discussion about chips thinking, I tuned in for a redraft. And we're going to get right to
Rice chips.
We need to
hashtag save Rice chips. All right, so for the first overall pick for my redrafting, I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same for all of us. First overall originally was Jack Hughes, and of course in the redraft it is of course Cole Caufield. No, obviously it's Jack Hughes. It stays the same. I think all of us can agree on that. Hughes is one of the best young forwards in the NHL. He's played 306 games, 281 points. That's including starting off incredibly slow during that first year. He has picked up the last 3 years. He's been fantastic. Great skilled player. He's a great playmaker, good shot as well. It's just a very solid player. His defense isn't even that bad either. I think a little underrated. Not really much else to say. Jack Hughes, I don't think anybody's going to disagree with that one.
Can I say something, though? We all have Jack Hughes, undoubtedly. Let's save a little time.
Wait, you guys have Jack Hughes?
Cam doesn't.
John Beecher is not ready.
What do you mean? I had.
Wait, you guys are drafting 2019?
Wait, you guys still have draft picks?
Oh my god!
No, but seriously, we all have Jack Hughes there, right?
Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna get an argument on Jack
argument
Hughes.
there.
Like, I'll just say quickly on Jack Hughes, and then not to kind of go out of turn, and then we'll kick it to Alex. But I just want to echo further more on what Harry said. He's still young, and it's important to recognize that all these players are still very young and developing. I think some are just sprouting a little bit earlier than others right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think Jack's going to turn into something studly. Alex.
Yep, like everyone else, Jack Hughes, a guy who I don't even think has hit the top of his ceiling yet. Harry, I'm going to shove that phone right down your throat.
An oldie but a goodie.
No, in all seriousness, though, I don't even think Jack Hughes has even hit his ceiling yet. Career high of 99 points in a season. Sky's the limit for this kid. Great, underrated two-way game, as Harry mentioned. Solid all-around offensive threat. Good 1-2 punch down the middle with him and Nico Hischier. Devils are set for the next decade at center. They don't have to worry about that. And he is, in my opinion, he's going to win a Hart at some point in his career. So, yeah, Jack Hughes is number one for me as well.
Well said, Alex. Let's go to Matt.
Yeah, if anyone else had anyone that wasn't Jack Hughes, they just don't watch hockey. Jack Hughes is incredible. One of the best young players in this league. And Yeah, I mean, like Alex said, the Devils pretty set at center for a long, long time. But let's see if they can put it together. But yeah, Jack
I
Hughes,
had
without a
Philip
doubt.
Broberg. I'm sorry. Vogel, let's go. What do you got? I'm assuming Jack Hughes. Anything to add?
There's not a ton. There's not a ton more to add. I mean, it's obviously Jack Hughes. I mean, everyone up top has explained it pretty well. I mean, there's really not a ton else to add. He's been fantastic.
Rick, do you have anything to add before we go to number 2?
Far and away the best player, the number 1 pick in this draft. Just to say, he had 114 goals, 167 assists to get to that 281 points. Yeah, just to say, not every year the number 1 pick is the right number 1 pick. Definitely in this case it was.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't we start with the number 2 pick that was originally Capo Caco to the New York Rangers, and why don't we start with Alex?
Number 2, so I have Mort Seider from Detroit. Good defenseman for the Red Wings. I think they got the future number 1 defenseman there. In my opinion, very good defensive style to his game. He's hit over 40 points 3 times already in his career. Again, another guy I don't think that has quite hit his ceiling yet, but I have to go with Seider. I like his game. I think he plays a smart style. I think Detroit has screwed up a lot in their rebuild. That's one of the guys I don't think they've screwed up with.
Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Alex. I have Mo Seider as well. They are kind of screwing him up though with Scott, because I still don't think he's signed, so that's kind of a problem. But
is he not? Oh, I didn't know that.
As far as I know, he's
him
not.
and Raymond.
Him and Lucas Raymond are still RFAs as of right now, and I believe they have a third
Mind-boggling.
RFA.
Yeah, no. Mo Seider, I think is without a doubt the second best player that's come out of that draft so far. Obviously, again, still very young player, but terrific defenseman and just a huge part of that rebuild.
I'm excited. We're going to have some disagreement. Vogel, what do you got?
I want to jump ahead, but I have Seider one spot down. I'm going to put Cole Caufield in.
Whoa.
Cole Caulfield number 2.
Cole Caulfield at number 2.
Yeah,
From a Bruin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, you were right.
I know.
Wow.
I'm putting
Oh
up
my
there at
God.
number 2.
I don't have Caufield that high. I understand your reasoning. Cole Caufield has been absolutely stunning for the Habs, especially as of late.
I hate to say it,
have,
but I mean he has.
I don't have Seider at 2 either. I actually have him down at 3. I have Trevor Zegras at 2. He's very comparable to Cole Caufield stat-wise. Everything up and down. Go look it up. It's 100% true. I think Trevor Zegras.
Not goal-wise.
They're like 6 games apart and also 6 points apart, and also a plus-minus of -1 difference. So they are highly comparable.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, you're right.
So I think just Trevor Zegras is more talented on the stick handling end of the puck. That's where I'm going to put him. So I have him at 2.
I agree with you there, but
Harry
that's really it. Cole Caulfield plays with a lot more heart than Trevor Zegras does.
You're judging off of heart. I'm judging off of talent. That's it. No one ever. When you draft someone, though, we're talking about like they're going off of talent. They don't know what kind of heart they have yet.
Right.
Look
and this is a redraft.
Look what happened at Cutter Gauthier.
And in a redraft, to have maybe we should explain that. The reason we're doing the 2019 is it's 5 years after that draft. That's when you look back and you can judge it.
That's when you can start.
Am I
to judge
next?
it.
Am I next?
Yeah, Rick, go ahead.
Yeah, so I have Mo Seider as well. 246 games, 21 goals, 113 assists, 134 points. He is a number 1 or number 2 D-man. The only way you really get those guys, I mean, sometimes in a trade, but rarely it's drafting them. And yeah, I think in that draft, it's either Boldy or Seider there. So, but I went with Seider.
All right, my second overall, I went in a completely different direction as you guys. I had the Rangers taking Matt Boldy. I think this guy is massively underrated. I don't hear him talked about nearly as much. This is a guy 203 games played, 75 goals, 96 assists, 171 points. just almost had a 70-goal season, almost was a back-to-back 30-goal scorer.
70-point season.
Oh, yeah, 70 points, 30-goal season, I should say, in only
Scared me
75 games. Yeah, no. Boldy is fantastic. I think he's a great playmaker. He's got a fantastic shot. It sucks that because he's in Minnesota, he doesn't get talked about as much as he should if he were in Detroit or Montreal or Toronto. Matt Boldy, I'm a big fan of his. I think he goes number 2. He's up 10 spots, by the way. He was originally drafted 12th.
At 12,
for my guy.
Yeah, and Sider was originally at 6, by the way.
Yeah, that was a bold prediction put on Boldy.
And Caufield was originally at 15, so.
Wow. Minnesota fans are gonna love you, Harry. Like Jesus, that's a bold prediction. I think
not that bold.
No, I think it's fair. Matt Boldy's really good.
Really good, not number 2 good.
I have him number 3, so I don't hate that at all.
I was gonna say,
there you go. Oh, good. Hey, everyone, let's fight. Come on, let's go. Bring out the gloves. Bring out the freaking gloves.
Fighting. Come on. We're
Sam,
going to fight, man.
Something I know you're not
Let's
used
go.
to drafting. It's something
myself.
the Bruins don't actually do that much, so that might be why you're a little confused about how this thing works. You know, the Bruins either shit down their leg with their picks or trade them all away. So that's probably why.
Buddy, we got the only draft that we could say that we actually screwed up was the 2015 draft. Either before that, we were fine. After that, we were fine. We got McAvoy, Pasternak, please.
Yeah, that was
you can't hold 2015 over the Bruins' heads forever.
But McAvoy and Pasternak, how long ago was that?
I mean, it's kind of bad though to screw up 3 picks in a row.
Yeah, that's bad, sure, but you're gonna name what 1 year? We also had Tyler Seguin, and sure, I mean he only lasted here 2 years before they kicked him out for his behavior. But that's really it. You're banking on 1 year, Alex. You're banking on one year.
Allegedly.
What's the allegedly? Sorry, I missed it. Must not have been important. All right, number 3. Why doesn't the great Matt Norton lead us off?
Yeah. So as I stated a few minutes ago, I have Matt Boldy at 3rd overall. I just think he's such a complete player. Boston College product. Just a really, really solid, good player for the Wild. I mean, he was a steal at 12 in the original draft. And I think he's better than Zegras. Just to kind of take a stab at Cam there. But no, I just think Matt Boldy's a more complete player. And again, I think he does everything well. And he's a pretty solid 2-way guy too.
Vogel,
what do we got?
So this is where I have Cedar. I mean, just like everyone said last round, he's been real solid. He's played 3 full seasons so far, and he's been great. I know the Cole Caufield take was a little bit of a hot take, but I think Sider goes 1 more spot down.
I'm gonna say this is where also I put Sider. So how I did my redraft was based upon the team's needs now and at the time, and so I think that's where the teams make their picks. And I think the Blackhawks, who had that pick, back in 2019, they needed defense. They needed it desperately, more than anything else. And Sider's a stud, dude. Like there's no question about it. That's where I have him. I don't know, Rick. What do you think?
Okay, I don't think that's what we're supposed to do, though. We look at their careers so far and judge who's better. That's how I'm doing it. Okay,
that as a part of it to me too, but also you got to think about it that it's also they don't know. I'm putting myself in their shoes. They don't know this. This is hindsight, right? In hindsight, what would you do? It's also that's why I'm basing off of their team what they need back then.
That's fine. Scientific mind. I mean, you're a scientist.
Yeah, I'm overly analytical. What do you want from me?
No, it makes sense. So I've got Matt Boldy because I think from looking at all the players as I did, I thought he was the best, the 3rd best player here. I think you could put him 2nd as well. I've had him the last 2 years in fantasy. He does well. He's pretty consistent. I think he's better than Zegras. And look at his goals. He's got 20 goals more than Zegras in almost the same and less games, not that many less. I think Boldy just an awesome pick. And he was a steal at 12, like Matt said, and that's where I got him.
All right, for my number 3, I feel like most people know I'm probably going to have him ranked this high. And it's no doubt Cole
Yeah.
Caufield, number 3 for me. Like, come on, I couldn't put him lower than 3. I couldn't go against my gut, and just the fact that Cole Caufield is the 3rd best player in this draft. 205 games, 81 goals, 149 points. He's up 12 spots from where he was originally drafted at 15th. So ironic that he replaces his current teammate in Kirby Dach going to Chicago. Essentially 3 straight 30-goal seasons. If he wasn't hurt for 22-23, he's a 30, probably 40 goal scorer. This year, if his shoulder isn't out, he's probably a 30, 40 goal scorer. If he wasn't playing under Dom Ducharme, he's a 30 goal scorer. This is a kid who's got an amazing shot. He's a great playmaker. Underrated two-way game. He's not fantastic, but he tries, and he's got a good defensive game. Caufield's just one of those guys that you want on your team. He's a pure sniper. He's what you want. And at number 3, I think the Hawks should have gone for him here. I think the fact that he fell to 15th was a massive steal by the Canadiens. Arguably the biggest steal in the first round was Caufield, in my opinion.
I think that deep at 15, you could make an argument. Yeah.
I don't know how he dropped that high. I'll be honest with you. When he was
Size.
falling, I was screaming.
He's a small boy.
Size.
No,
It
he's
was
tiny.
his size.
Yeah,
That's
I
all.
know. That was the whole reason why Zach Benson dropped 2 years ago. Everyone screamed about his size. I'm like,
Yep.
you're going to
Troy Lane
regret
Hudson
that.
dropped to like the end of the second round.
Yeah.
No, he only
Yeah.
dropped the 13th.
That was
It
another
still
steal.
ridiculous. He was like a top 5 pick. But anyway, not to get too
I
far off
mean,
that.
yeah.
But anyway, I have Matt Boldy at 3. I think this kid, again, yet to scratch his ceiling yet. He's already got 2 seasons over 60 points. Already has a 30-goal season under his notch. Another one last year. He came very close to such. I think he's going to be a point-per-game guy this year. That Wild top 6 is pretty damn good. They still aren't that good of a team yet, but he's not the reason why. You have a good elite first liner for a long time with a guy like that. Good goal scorer, plays a smart offensive game, under a pretty solid two-way game in my opinion as well. He's just what you need there. Matt Boldy's my number 3 pick.
Nice. Why don't we move on to number 4? Vogel, lead us off.
So this is where I have Trevor Zegras. He would have been a member of the Colorado Avalanche. There's 5 spots higher than he was drafted in 19. Was played in Anaheim 4 seasons. 2 of them were really, close to full seasons. He had an injury last year, only played 31 games, but the 2 seasons before that, he had 60-plus points 2 years in a row. I think he's going to bounce back pretty good this year, and I'm excited to see him in the that Mighty Ducks orange they got going on over there.
Yeah, that new logo,
It's awesome.
like the new rendition of it is pretty good. The old Mighty Ducks. I really love that. I actually have Caufield.
That would have just added to Colorado's arsenal if they took him. He would have.
Yeah, I think they definitely needed a center for sure. I think they're up there with the Rangers that I think also needed a center at that time. Too. So I think that's kind of put it. I actually have Cole Caufield at 4 because I think at that time they also needed a right wing desperately. And I think it's a huge jump for Cole. And I think in that system, Cole would have, been perfectly, especially with the likes of Nathan McKinnon and company. So I think that's where he would have ended up at 4. Rick.
Yeah, I got Caufield there as well. And it's funny is I thought I was going to be the first, have him at the highest. It's funny I'm not. Yeah.
No, Harry's just delusional.
I have him ahead of Zegras.
Vogel had him at the
I
highest.
had him at 2.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That is true. I forgot about that. Wow. Sorry, Vogel.
You guys forgot whose turn it is. Right?
Already. Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry, it's your turn. Oh my God. Talking. Someone get him the talking stick.
No, you can finish what you were going to say.
You old bastard. No, that was it. Go ahead. I don't
All
want to.
All right. So the reason I have Caufield ahead of Zegras is the goals. So he's got 81 goals to Zegras's 55. I don't think the assists are that important as far as in this, and they're only 6 points difference. So, I think Cole Caufield I think he's going to come into his own this year. Where, like Harry said, we're going to see 30 to 40 goals. I have him at 37 for this year. I think legitimately Cole Caufield should have been picked there.
Harry.
Sorry, for fourth overall, I have you guys have already said his name, so I'm going to keep it quick. Mo Sider, he jumps up 2 spots from 6th overall, replacing Bowen Byram. So funny enough, Colorado defenseman out, defenseman in. Mo Sider, good defensive defenseman. He's even put up some points, couple 40-point seasons for him. Of course, he's unsigned right now. Technically, he's an RFA. He's a very, very solid young defenseman. He's definitely going to be a number 2 defenseman for Detroit in the long term. Depending on how good he performs this year, I think is really dependent on how good he does this year will determine if Detroit makes the playoffs or not. I personally believe. But yeah, Mo Sider, you guys already said it. He's a pretty good defenseman at such a young age. He's just going to keep getting better and better. The comparisons to Nick Lidstrom that some people had, not you guys, but some people have had a little bit over the top. He's not as good as the most perfect defenseman in the NHL, but you know what? It's I don't mind Mo Sider. He's one of the few Detroit Red Wings I don't hate, so I'll have him at number 4. I'm not going to let the bias affect it too much.
Just to add to Harry's point, I don't just in the Red Wings in general. I think they need a lot more than just Moritz Seider to actually go. I think they're taking the Toronto Maple Leafs route and just trying to outscore their opponent. I still think they need goaltending help and a little bit more help on defense. But
but they have like 5 NHL goalies. Surely one of them's going to work.
They'll figure it out. Yeah, of course they will. All right, I yield my time back to Alex.
Number 4, I have Cole Caufield. I was stupid high on the kid for a while. I'm not going to act.
What? Are Alex and I agreeing?
Yeah, I know it's a rare point, but no, listen. Ask Matt. I was clamoring the Flyers to draft this kid for pick after pick after pick after pick in 2019, and at the time, I was bullshitting Fletcher for passing at him. Mind you, I probably would still take Caufield over who we ended up getting, obviously. But I'm not disappointed as much anymore because I think Cam York has been fantastic. I think he's going to be surprised where I have him, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh, God.
But Cole Caufield's the real deal. I think this kid's good. I think he's going to be I think he'll probably be a future 40-goal scorer. I think he's a very hell of a shot, smart kid. Obviously, he was a little undersized, but he's put on a little bit of weight, enough that he's been able to not get bullied around in the NHL. So he deserves a 4th spot. That's
Matt.
Go Caufield at 4. Enough said.
Yeah, we've already glazed them enough.
Easy.
Damn. All right, I'll lead it off with the 5th. I actually have Matthew Boldy at 5. I think Los Angeles at the time definitely needed a left wing help, and I think he would have been a steal for them. I think he's on par with Cole Caufield, so it was kind of difficult. It was actually a toss-up between him and Cole at 5. But I think Cole actually just slightly edges him out in terms of talent. That's my thought. He's an excellent player. The Wild stole him for sure. I mean, he was originally drafted 12. I mean, I think he moves up 7 spots for sure. He's a stud. Nothing much more to really say about him. Rick.
Question: who the hell remembers what a team needs 5 years ago? I couldn't.
Research, Rick.
Their teams haven't really changed, since. So it's kind of easy to determine, and if you look at what they drafted versus, everything, it's kind of easy to gauge.
I had Caufield, by the way, that draft. I had him going to Edmonton. I think that was at 8th.
8th, yep.
All right. Who do I have at number 5? I have Trevor Zegras here at number 5. There's some red flags for Zegras. Montreal rumored to be acquiring Zegras any second now for all summer. So there's that. I think there's red flags there that don't fit for Montreal. That doesn't mean that he wasn't a great pick. You look at his numbers, 211 games, 55 goals, 99 assists, 154 points. He was originally number 9. And, I don't get to see Zegras a lot in games because we only play them twice. But, I think he should have been number 5.
Okay, my number 5, I am mentioning someone that nobody has talked about so far, and it's not necessarily a hot take, it's just I think he's better than Zegras. Dylan Cousins. Dylan Cousins is who I have at number 5. I am a huge Dylan Cousins supporter. I watch Buffalo games fairly often whenever I'm able to. This is a kid that always impresses me on the ice. He's played 280 games, 66 goals, and 166 total points. He moves up 2 spots from 7th overall right here. The Kings, by the way, who originally drafted Alex Turcotte, which safe to say, I don't think anybody's going to have him going in this top 15 for Alex Turcotte.
Did we lose Harry then?
But yeah, Dylan Cousins, he's a great goal scorer. He 30 goals. He put up Cousins put up 30 goals 2 seasons ago. This year, admittedly, a bit of a.
I think Harry is having some technical.
70 points consistently, season by season. I'm a big Dylan Cousins guy, and
that's it.
No, he's going through one of his. He goes through lag periods like that. He'll get.
Well, we can tell.
I go through lag periods.
He's bringing.
Basically, I'll just say this: I like Cousins offensively. He's a good player, slightly better than Zegras offensively. All right, Alex, get it going.
I'm actually going to say a guy that hasn't been picked yet either. I have Thomas Harley at 5 from Dallas. Good number. He, in my opinion, is the second best defenseman right now. Guy who's increased his point total every year. Really smart guy. Very underrated defensive player. I like Thomas Harley. I watched him a lot in the playoffs. That might be a bit of a hot take. He was picked number 18 originally, so he's up 13 spots in my big board. But Thomas Harley's good. This kid doesn't get enough respect. He is one of the most underrated defensemen in the league, in my opinion.
All right.
Who?
Nobody was making faces.
Thomas Harley, but
Rick was too.
So was I. Yeah.
Rick and I looked at you. What?
I
didn't expect that one.
I'm gonna completely disagree with him when it gets to me. So I can't believe he said that name over somebody else.
Naughty, you're next.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. 5th overall, Trevor Zegras. This is where I have Trevor Zegras. Supremely talented offensive player. Doesn't really have it on the doesn't really have a two-way game there, but just a supremely talented forward. Wizard with the puck, like just a 6 sentiments. I think 5's a good number for him.
Bogle.
I got Boldy here.
Yeah.
For reasons already said.
Easy enough.
Bogle and I agree on some stuff.
I feel like everyone's top 5 have kind of been mostly the same, but just kind of shuffled around.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I still can't believe you put Thomas Harley over some of the other players.
Yeah. Did you watch? I watched Dallas a lot in the playoffs for obvious reasons because I bet them to win the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah, it's more
that kid is good. He does not get enough respect for where he plays. He is their number 2 defense. I thought he was better than Tanev in the playoffs.
That's not saying much of anything.
That isn't, but still, this kid.
What you just gave this kid 5th overall, and you're like, he played better than Tanev.
No,
nobody else.
I can play better than Tanev.
Like, what the? All
right, sit down, Harry. Go back to grabbing the chips.
I bet you nobody else has Harley in the top 15.
Nope.
You're out of your mind if he's not in the top 15.
Go ahead, lead us off with 6.
Oh, it's my turn.
It's Thomas Harley.
It's Thomas Harley. I was trying to think of a name that you guys would look at me and go, "What?" And I couldn't think of one. I have Dylan Cousins at number 6. You could even argue, and I agree with Harry. He could be at 5 easily. He's got better numbers, although in more games than Zegras. But anyway, Dylan Cousins. I don't know if he said the numbers. 280 games. He's had the second most games, I think, of all these guys I have. Yep. 66 goals, 100 assists, and 166 points. I don't remember. Like, I know I've seen Buffalo a lot, and I don't really remember a lot about Cousins, except he puts up numbers. He's a good, solid player. He was a good, solid pick, and I moved him up 1 spot.
It's funny that a lot of you guys had this guy as high as 3, and I think one of you guys had him at 2. Trevor Zegras is at 6 for me. I aside from the Michigan moves that he pulls off, and of course they're fantastic. They're amazing. Everybody loves them.
No, I don't love them.
Okay, those against Montreal, it's not good, but like but aside from the Michigan moves and all that, there's not a whole lot special about Trevor Zegras. He's a good offensive forward. I'll give him that. He's a very good offensive forward. But I don't know if he has what it takes to be a number one center. A number one winger, definitely. I like Trevor Zegras, too. I really like Trevor Zegras' game. I just think he lacks defensively and lacks the heart to really make him a pure top 5 pick. I do have him at 6 because that lack of passion on the ice, I think, will get fixed with their new. I think they've replaced their old coach. I think Pat Verbeek is the guy coming in. So maybe they'll get that out of him. Plus, maybe more games played this year could get him there. But I just drop him. He still does move up from 9th overall to 6th for me. But I don't have him as high as you guys because of that kind of souring I've had on Zegras. But yeah, you guys already talked tons about Zegras' positives. I figured I'd give a little negative.
I'll piggyback a little bit on Harry from his early pick. I got Dylan Cousins at 6. Had a little bit of a down year last year. I blame that more on Buffalo being a terrorist organization than him, to be honest with you. But you could see you could see how good he was in 2022-23. Had over a 30-goal campaign. This kid has a lot of talent yet to be unlocked. I think in the right situation, you're looking at a kid that has sky-high potential. Fantastic offensive game, great playmaker, great goal scorer, does everything you want to see in a center. He good in the dot. I don't think we've seen anything close to it. I think when he hits his ceiling, he'll be sniffing point per game seasons every year.
Oh man, good time to lose Matt.
Let's go, Nordy.
So for me, 6th overall. I'm in agreement with Alex. I have Dylan Cousins here. He drops a spot. Actually, no, he goes exactly where he was. I'm just looking at the.
No, moves up one.
No,
That's up
he
one.
was at 7th originally.
It is up one. Yeah, I don't have my glasses on. I'm blind. There it is. But yeah, Dylan Cousins here. I think 6 overall is perfectly fine for Dylan Cousins. Fantastic player all around. Can do everything. Good goal scorer. Enough said.
Vogel.
I'm in the same boat as Alex, Matt, and Rick. It's Cousins. He's good play. I think that he's going to be really good in the next coming years. He's only 23 years old, and just to see what he's been doing so far, I think that he has a really high ceiling too. That there's going to be more to come from him.
I have Bowen Byram. He has a cup. I think he's the only one in the top 15 as of right now that has a cup. So I think
Alex Newhook.
Yep.
He went 16.
Oh, he went 16.
Yeah,
no, you're right. He went 16.
So he's the only one in the top 15. He went with the Colorado Avalanche. He was a pivotal part in that, I believe, and so he's on Buffalo now. So I think he's more than earned. I mean, 6th. But I think instead of Moritz that Detroit would have picked, they picked Bowen Byram. So I think that's my thoughts. Rick.
I already gave mine.
That's right. You did.
Back
That's
up
right.
to Harry.
That's what we're doing. We're going back up to Harry for number 7.
All right. So for my number 7, my wife almost stopped cutting out, which I'd really like if it did. We've got our first major jump for me. This guy was originally picked at 98th overall.
Jesus.
I don't know how many people have him in the top 15. I've got Matias Maccelli. I'm a huge Utah Hockey Club fan. Matias Maccelli. This is a guy, you look at him, 169 very nice games played. He's got 112 points, only 29 goals, but 83 assists. This is a kid. Just put up a 57-point campaign. I'm really impressed by him. Matias Maccelli, I think he's a great guy. He's a great kid on the ice. Great. I love his speed. He's 5'11", 176 pounds. He's fast. He's a great playmaker. I honestly think he's got big potential for a 70-point campaign if he's in that top 6 this season. I'm just a big Maccelli fan. There's a couple guys that arguably could be here instead, but I'm going Maccelli just because I gotta rep Maccelli. Not many others. There's like 2 or 3 others that could really be here. But
I looked through all 7 rounds. That name didn't jump out at me, but yeah,
I don't hate the Maccelli pick. I think it is a little high. I think he's probably a top 15 pick, but I wouldn't put him at 7. So I'm not going to rash as much as the posse who's below me are.
That's
by posse, I mean the one to my bottom. But if I have to make my pick, I'm going to say that's where I'll put Trevor Zegras is at 7. The thing with Zegras is there's been a little bit of an attitude problem with him in Anaheim so far. He's got all the talent in the world. He's a fantastic fit in when it comes to what he can do in the center position. Good goal scorer, fantastic puck dangler. But the issue with this kid is there's some character issues there. So I don't know. The fact that him and his coach don't seem eye to eye, it brings me down a little bit on him. I mean, he's still a top 10 pick, no question about it in my eyes, but I have him at 7.
That team sucks. He makes magic on one of the crappiest teams in the NHL.
Yeah, and
There's some good players there.
Yeah, but the team overall sucks. The coach sucks. The
They're
defense
young.
sucks. Yeah, but I mean, like the talent he brings. That's why I put him at number 2.
That's not why I know his talent. He's got 2 60-point seasons in his career. I'm saying the attitude
on a garbage team. Oh, Nortimer.
7th?
Yep. Well, for you, 8th.
Fuck off.
Come on, pay attention. What are we doing? I'm trying to work here.
Matthew, it's your turn.
Someone we gotta give him the freaking what's it called? The Jeopardy theme music.
Harry, this is who you should be using.
Hey, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Do.
About your smoke prepared.
It's like
What do you mean it's tough?
Go here.
It's not the SATs.
It's not like it's a draft where you got 3 minutes to
What
make
the hell
your
are we
pick.
doing? He's looking at. I guarantee you, he's looking at the draft order and he's doing some calculations. He's got the whole thing going up.
Okay, let's go to Vogel.
Excel.
Let's go to Vogel and we'll go back to Matt.
Yeah, well, geez.
Cool with that.
Vogel, what do you think?
All right, so number 7, I have Kirby Dach here at 7. He went 2nd overall to Chicago. I don't think that he was a 3rd. Oh, sorry, I'm 3rd.
He went 3rd.
I don't think that he's been good. He's got 5 years under his belt. Only has 99 points. He's had 1 season where he got more than 26 points. He's also playing in Montreal now, so fuck him.
I want to say this about
You
Kirby
redeemed
Dach.
yourself with how that ended.
I like that.
I want to say this about Kirby Dach. I don't think it's as much as his fault. He's been injured.
Yeah.
Pretty consistently. So
yeah.
I actually have him a lot lower than that, but I see your point. He's a very talented player, but fuck Montreal.
I think that they, obviously overshot it at 3.
At least Montreal was
Yeah.
in the draft.
For sure. I actually have Dylan Cousins at 7. I think where he was picked is perfect for him. I don't think he's any higher, any lower. I'm not gonna glaze on him like Harry did, but he's a good player, and he's gonna develop him. I kill Vogel. There we go. I kill
That was
Vogel.
a really
videos
funny
of
way. That was a
Vogel?
really funny way to word that.
What kind of videos has Vogel been watching? He laughed at that.
I don't know.
Timer's still
I don't
going
know.
for Matt.
But anyway, we're going. Nordy, do you have your pick? We're gonna shoot
I
it back
do.
to you.
I do, and
Oh, yeah.
I'm actually
Tell
going
me
to
it's Dylan
piggyback
Cousins.
off. No, I'm going to piggyback off Vogel and go with a current Hab. I'm going to go with Alex Newhook.
God, I take it back.
What?
I'm sorry.
What?
Whoa!
Whoa! That's-
Whoa!
You make
Alex
fun of my
Newhook?
early pick, but you put Newhook at 7. Are you okay?
Okay,
Alex
hold on.
Newhook won a cup.
First of all,
Yeah, and it's
Newhook
not
has
that
at least
far
won a
off.
cup.
True, he has won a
Newhook
cup.
at least won a cup. I will give him that.
Who cares? Hey, he didn't do much to win
cares?
it.
I mean,
He
his
has
Flyers aren't doing anything. in the
Let
next
Matt
decade,
talk
so-
there. Come on.
No, we're
Yeah,
arguing.
Matt, you
gotta
gotta
talk.
talk. Come on,
He's
Matt.
the voice of reason there. Let him talk.
No, I
Come
mean,
on,
look,
Mr. Voice of Reason.
first and foremost, he does have that Stanley Cup, but I honestly think he's one of probably top 2 fastest players in this draft.
Yep.
He's quick as a whip. Even I've seen him in person too. He's even quicker. He's got the hands to catch up to it. Just a dynamic player. It's unfortunate that he got hurt last year, but overall, he had a pretty good season. And he's been a pretty solid player, throughout his career up to now. And I don't think he gets a lot of the love that he should. And I think, in Colorado, they were so deep at center at the time that he didn't really get a chance to shine playing like top 6 minutes. Now you're kind of starting to see that in Montreal. So I get Newhook going 7th.
Rick.
At number 7, I've got a Montreal Canadian as well, but I'm agreeing with Vogel. It's Kirby Dach. Kirby Dach, 212 games. And if he wasn't injured as much as he has been, he probably would have as many games as Jack Hughes under his belt and would probably be the number 3 pick legitimately.
Mm-hmm.
So I have him here, 212 games, 33 goals, 66 assists, 99 points. Those would all be higher. I think this year he's going to break out, and he's going to prove it all to everybody, and he's going to stay healthy, and he's going to be just fine. And, yeah, I got Kirby Dach.
Oh, you guys are going to hate me where I put him.
We hate you already.
Yeah,
Fuck the Bruins. Fuck the Bruins. So we hate
Okay.
you already.
Okay. W's only. W's only.
It's gonna be kind of hard to do with Corpusalo between the fights.
It's
All
fine.
right, it was number 8.
You got it.
Alex,
Start
lead us
off.
off with number 8.
Yeah.
All right, my number 8 pick. I had to think about this one a little bit. I was a little around it, but I picked Bowen Byram. Solid defenseman. Like you've mentioned, won a cup. Now that he's on Buffalo, I think he's going to be part of a 3-headed monster of defenseman there with him, Power, and Dahlin. I think he plays a great defensive style of game. He's starting to put it up offensively a little bit as well. How many points did he have last year? I'm blanking on the number, but he had a half decent season offensively last year. But
29
points, thank you. But he's been decent. He's starting to show in the form. He's a great defensive style of play. That's who I go with this Byram.
Nordy.
Yeah, I'm with Alex there. I got Bowen Byram.
That's it.
Vogel.
Yeah. Nothing really more to say. I mean, he got a cup.
I
too,
also
so I think
Owen
that's
Byram.
where they're going there.
Again, got a cup. This would be Buffalo's pick, which again they ended up getting him anyway from Colorado. But I got Byram here.
Edmonton's pick. Edmonton.
Oh,
picked
I'm
eight
sorry. I'm
after.
one behind. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm one behind. So anyway, yeah, Byram.
I actually have Cam York
I messed up.
at 8. I actually have him higher. Yeah, I think Cam York is going to be establishing himself much stronger than he is. He's already making good strides in Philadelphia. It actually was tough between, believe it or not, Alex, I did have Thomas Harley up here. It was actually tough to decide between him and Thomas Harley. I'll give you guys a spoiler to my next one is that's who it is. Those were the 2 toss-ups. But I think Edmonton needed a defenseman at that time. They originally took Philip Broberg, and he didn't work out. And I think Cam York is what they could have needed. So, yeah, that's it for me.
Alex, hold on to your head for a second. It may explode. Considering how you reacted before, I've got Alex Newhook here. He was originally at 16. He does have a cup. I wanted him for Montreal, not knowing that Cole Caufield would fall. But I wanted Newhook.
But we got him anyway.
And we got them all 3. Listen, now I'm at 8. Montreal has 3 of the top 8 in my mind now of this draft, which I think is pretty impressive. 214 games, 42 goals, 58 assists, 100 points. I don't see why he's not qualified to be here. He's, like Matt said, fast as lightning and with moves and hands. And he hasn't shown nearly everything that he can. And I think his best days are definitely ahead of him. And Alex Newhook at number 8. And fuck the Bruins. I had to get that in. Sorry, I had to. I'm done.
for my number 8, for the Oilers, instead of picking Philip Broberg, they're not going with a Montreal Canadiens, surprisingly. Instead, they're picking someone that would probably immediately solidify them as an actual cup contender. I don't know why people are pretending like they're cup contenders, but Pyotr Kochetsov, who moves up 28 whole spots.
What? Who?
Hold on.
Huh?
I want to just address this. You think Edmonton is not a cup contender?
Kiochkov.
Not at all.
He's a goalie for the Hurricanes, right, Harry?
Yeah, Kochekov.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Oh, that would have helped. That would have helped solve their problem significantly. But I'm just going to disagree with you. Like, it takes a lot of work to get to the Stanley Cup final.
Harry,
Pay some
they were
respect
one
to
goal away
Edmonton.
from winning the thing. I wouldn't call them not a cup.
Yeah, like,
I know
They're
be,
not a
be
cup
careful.
contender.
David, but stop drinking the
like,
haterade.
If it wasn't for Bobrovsky standing on his head, did you watch Game 7? Because
Of course
Edmonton
I
was,
did. Who didn't?
Edmonton was pounding Bobrovsky nonstop. he had to stand on his head. It was not even. I don't think Florida was the better team on Game 7. To be honest with you, I think they were the better team overall.
Who won the cup though?
Well, the better team won the cup, but that doesn't mean that they're not cup contenders. That there's a difference.
No, they don't have
There's a difference
goaltending.
between
Their defense is trash. Their backup is Calvin Pickard. For
You're
God's
absolutely
sake.
right. They beat the likes of Vancouver, who was arguably one of the best regular
They beat
season
my
teams.
cup pick.
They beat
had
their
to
third
beat
string
Dallas.
goaltender. Wow, they barely beat their third.
Doesn't
string
matter.
goalie.
And then they erased a 3-0 deficit against the best team, I think, in the league, which was the Florida Panthers. So I don't know. Call it what you will. But
The
I think
2002 Hurricanes also made the Cup Finals, and what happened to them the next year? They bottomed out. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that's like calling the 2003 Hurricanes the Cup contenders.
Honestly, I would
different eras.
I would love if they actually had an off year because we have their first round pick this year, but I'm not expecting it. I expect.
Oh,
that
our
to be
Oilers are absolute Cup contenders. Are going to go all the way. Let's go.
Oh,
All right.
All right,
Yeah,
number 9. Let's go to.
Okay.
We'll start with Nordy.
So this is where I have Kirby Dach. Yeah, his full potential isn't there yet, and the injuries have been a big part of it. But man, if he can have a full season or like a 90% of a season with full health, we're gonna see really what he can bring. And I think the sky's the limit with Kirby Dach. He's big, he's strong, does everything very, very well. Really, really smart hockey player. And yeah, even though he has missed a lot of time, I still think he's deserving of a top 10 spot. And I think 9 is fair.
Vogel.
I have Newhook here. Again, he's been picked in the reasoning's already there, so I feel like adding to it is just redundant.
Although we're curious why a Bruin would like how you see him as a Bruins fan.
I'm again. He's Stanley Cup champion. He contributed to that team. He's played, 3 pretty much complete seasons. Over 30 points in each of those. I think he's a good player, and I think that. And again, he's in Montreal. I don't have to say it, but.
But like I said too, I mean, I think he's arguably the fastest player in this draft, if not like top 2 or top 3. I mean, he is quick.
No, I think I definitely think he's
so
the
quick.
fastest. Yeah.
It's not even funny how fast. And he's got the hands to catch up to it too, which makes him extremely dangerous with the puck.
And he's a top 6 player.
Yes.
I got Thomas Harley at 9 for Anaheim. That team has struggled a lot with defense. So that's what I got for them. I'll echo what Alex had to say. I think Thomas Harley is going to shine. He's going to develop into something. So he's definitely going to be a player to look out for. Not much to really add to it. Rick?
I got a question for you on that, though. Do you think Thomas Harley is the 9th best player from that draft?
Yes.
Okay, that's fair. For number 9,
Otherwise, why would I have him at 9?
No, because you're looking at it from a different point of view than I'm looking at it when I made my picks. That's why I'm just curious.
I think he was the best. He has turned into the 9th best player that Anaheim would have likely taken had he been available.
No, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. Alex, you're going to like this one because I got Cam York at number 9. He went surprisingly, and I mean, we were shocked as freaking hell that Philly took Cam York when Cole Caufield was sitting there. So I don't know how that happened. But he's turned into a really solid defenseman. Probably number 2 guy when it's all said and done. I don't think he's a number 1, but he's probably your number 2. 169 games, 15 goals, 45 assists, 60 points. Now, there are guys that are going to come after him that have more points than him, but I think he's going to be the better of those guys, and it'll surprise you at who my next pick is that I'm saying that, I think, you guys. But there you go, Cam York. As much as I know about him, I think he's a really good player and deserving to move up from 14, by the way, he was at 14. So there you go. That's all I got.
Harry.
All right, for my number 9, you guys have glazed him enough already. Thomas Harley, I think he moves up 7 spots, originally picked I believe it was 16th or 17th overall. Yeah, Thomas Harley, he's a good defenseman, good two-way guy. He's got a little bit of offensive potential. I believe just put up just had his first full season in the league, 47 points, great in the playoffs, 2 straight years. Last year, offensively, this year, more defensively. Of course, he was better than Chris Tanev, which is a very strong point to how good he is, apparently. But but no, Thomas Harley's a good guy. You guys have said enough about him, and yeah, number 9 I think is a fair pick for him.
Alex.
Matthias Michelli, yeah, boy, I got him at number 9. That was kind of stole my thunder there because I pretended to act shocked. I was like, let me play this on him real quick. But no,
Thank you.
No, but he's Michelli's a good player. He already had, as you mentioned, 57-point campaign last year. I think he had 49-50 the year before. He pretty much a cornerstone top 6 guy for that Utah team. He's a great playmaker. That's where his game comes from. I think he has a potential to be a potential 60 assist guy when he hits his prime. I don't think he's even close to done yet. I like Michelli at number 9.
Oh yeah,
Never. I missed on that guy, man.
Okay.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Vogel, why don't you lead us off with number 10?
I have Capo Caco here.
Yeah.
You Sperry Kotkaniemi? What?
Yeah.
You got your Sperry Cook? No. Okay, wrong draft. Just joking.
Damn, dude. God, come on.
Yeah, I think that I was when he was first drafted, I was excited. I heard really good things about him. I think that he hasn't. Yeah, I don't think that he is performed to the standard people had him at, and I have him fallen pretty far from 2 to 10.
I think his talent is there. I feel like he's like Alexis Lafreniere. As soon as he had a while to kind of adapt, but I just don't think the Rangers are a good fit for him. I don't have him at 10.
No.
I actually have Alex Newhook at 10. Cup winner, but I don't think he's any higher than 10. I'm just hard pressed for it. I don't know. I think he's a fantastic player. He does have a cup. But I just can't see him any higher than 10. I also can't see it. I could see him a little lower than 10, but I think 10 is right where he has him with Vancouver. I think he would have complimented them well. Rick.
I've got Bowen Byron here at number 10,
Oh.
dropping down 6 spots. The reasoning basically, though, is, and I don't know if it was because Colorado was really stacked at defense, so it took him a couple of years to really make his mark there. And so that's why I've dropped him down more than anything. Points-wise and all that are pretty good. 26 goals, 46 assists, 72 points in 164 games. Not bad. I think he's going to be fantastic, especially over there in Buffalo. When that thing clicks, they got one hell of a defense over there.
Do you say when that clicks? If that clicks.
Yeah, okay. You got to think that's got to click.
They're in the
though.
organization.
Good for us.
But I mean, if they do make that work, they got good offense. Forwards are good. The defense is stacked. Yeah,
It's not the players; it's everything else around them.
Yeah, no, I get it. So Bonebarm, good player, and I mean, even I would say maybe I've dropped him down a little too much, but that's where I've got him at number 10.
Harry, 10.
All right, for my number 10, instead of Vasily Podkolzin, who another spoiler, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say none of us have him in our top 15.
He just got traded. He might turn up. No, I'm just joking.
I mean, who knows? It's Edmonton, so maybe Edmonton reclamation project. Yeah, sure. But no, instead of this guy drops down 7.
Oh,
And we lost him again. And we're going to Alex.
You guys can do the math.
Oh.
Kirby Dachson at number 10.
Just be patient.
Oh, hello. Are we back? Are we good now?
He's
yeah,
back.
you're good.
Flagman is back.
All right.
Stay classy.
All right, number.
What's happening?
Ups down 7 spots. Did it again.
Who's down? Who's 7th spot?
Who's he got?
All right.
Kirby Dach.
Kirby
Kirby
Dach.
Dach.
He moves down 7 spots. It's
Kirby Dach.
Jesus, what kind of Wi-Fi do they
Enough
got
good
over
things
there?
about
Kirby
Dach. Oh my.
It's sporadic. That happens
All right.
sporadically.
Oh, I understand. It happens sporadically.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gone.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he
Throwing
vanished. He vanished. He's gone.
Yeah.
Oh my God. He Houdini'd out of here.
The
He
lag
got beamed up by aliens. But no, it happens with his Wi-Fi.
I can go on a lot about aliens.
It goes in and out like that, where and then it'll be fine for a while. So you gotta wait it out.
All right, let's see if it's good now. My guy drops down 7 spots from number 3. He's the 10th overall pick, Kirby Dach. We've not said enough good things about him. He's a big boy. He's tough. He's got goal scoring ability.
Okay,
he's got 99
not
career
tough.
points. He was used.
He's not tough.
He's not tough. He's been injured. He's not tough.
Can we?
Well, that's not an indicator of how tough you are.
Right.
Arbor Jack got injured twice. Are you saying he's not tough?
What's in the water over there?
He hasn't played through many injuries or any injuries. He ain't tough.
Yeah, two shoulder injuries.
Yeah, okay. Bergeron played with a punctured lung in 2019 in Game 7.
You're right. Mark Bergevin did play with a punctured lung at one point. Anyways, talking about good players. Kirby Dach, yeah, he was in a defensive role with the Blackhawks. That's why he didn't get many points there. He gets traded to Montreal. He has an offensive explosion. Of course, he was point per game last season, and I think we're in for a big explosion of offense once again from Kirby Dach, assuming he can stay healthy, which he'll stay healthy. Don't worry. Dach's my number 10. I think he's one of the best players in this draft, and I think he has potential to jump up into maybe even number 6 when he's in his prime in a couple of years. So, yeah, Alex, talk about Cam York.
I you know I was going to pick him at 10.
Dare you actually?
Yeah, Cam York at 10. He actually nailed it. Great two-way defenseman, giant minutes eater, has been great. Pretty much a defensive style player. I love his game. Like, I think he's a true number 2 defenseman when he hits his prime. He doesn't make many mistakes. He's very smart in his own end. Doesn't turn the puck over. He does all the little things you look for a defenseman. Cam York is my number 10 guy.
Oh my God, he kept under 30 seconds. It's a miracle.
Yeah, no one else here does.
I do.
Does Nordy have his pick ready?
I do.
All right, we're moving on to Bogle.
Bo Byram.
Bo Byram, really? Oh.
Well,
yeah, even for me here, it's between him and Cam York. I think for me, the cup puts Bo Byram ahead of Cam York. I think they're both solid defensemen, but for me with the cup, Bo Byram deserves to go in the top 10. And yeah, I mean he's a great defenseman. He's solid, and yeah, I think if things can click the right way in Buffalo, they're gonna have a great decor.
All right, I guess I'll lead us off with number 11. I actually have Victor Soderstrom here. The exact pick that went at number 11 will remain the same pick to the Arizona Coyotes, and they actually received this from Philadelphia. Just a quick reminder that Cole Caufield was still on the board at this time, Alex. I just want to see him scream. So I think Arizona needed to bolster the defense, and I think that pick was still there for them because I don't think the other picks would have been there. Yeah, Rick, what do you think?
Okay, this is the first of my big jumps I have 3 of them kind of in a row. I have to admit I missed out on Maselli, and I would have him ahead of this guy, so don't judge me on that. Okay, so at number 11, up from number 24 is Philip Tomasino, who went to Nashville, so that's where he went. 148 games, 23 goals, 47 assists, 70 points. I think good. I mean, that's pretty good numbers for a guy. I believe he's a third liner, a good defensive player, has some offense in him, fast skater. So he likes to carry the puck up the ice. That's what I know of him. But yeah, that's who I've got there at number 11, Philip Tomasino.
Harry.
All right. My number 11 pick is a guy you guys have talked a ton about. It's Bowen Byram. He does drop down 7 spots, but that doesn't mean he's not good. Bowen Byram, big, not big, but a great defensive defenseman. He puts up some points. Of course, he just came off a 29-point campaign. He had 9 points in 18 games with Buffalo. He's a guy who's not afraid to put up some goals. He had a 10-goal campaign the season before this one. Bowen Byram's a very good two-way guy. I think he has a little bit more offensive potential with Buffalo just because of how stacked their offense is. Colorado is very much lacking that number 1 left wing with Landeskog being out right now. But Byram, He's a solid player. You guys said a lot about him. I'm just going to keep it at that. Good two-way guy. I think a top 11 pick is very much a good spot for him to go.
You
Alex.
said he's not big, though. Isn't he big? Not a small guy.
He's only 6'1", 190.
Oh, I thought he was bigger than that.
For number 11, I got Kirby Dach. Good player when he actually plays, but the thing is, the guy's made out of paper mache and glass, so I don't know if he's ever going to play. But no, talented player as long as he can play. That's the only issue with them. No durability. Kirby Dach, 11.
Nordy.
Yeah, so I got Cam York here. Like I said, between 10 and 11, it was between Byram and York. The Cup put Byram ahead of York, but I do like Cam York a lot. He's a solid stay-home defenseman. I think solidly in that number 2 spot for Philly going forward. Definitely on that top pair, solid defenseman.
Vogel, round us off with number 11.
Number 11, I have Spencer Knight.
Really?
I have Spencer Knight. I think that he's been backing up Bobrovsky for a couple of years now. He's a BC guy, so I like that. I do think that if Arizona or Utah now I think that he would be. He's been a backup for a few years, but I do think that he could be. I don't think like an all-star number 1 goalie, but I do think that he could handle a full workload.
I think he replaces Bobrovsky.
You do?
I think he does. I think he replaces Bobrovsky. I think he's a phenomenal goaltender. I mean,
I think on the right team, he's a number 1.
Yeah, and I think for
so.
Florida that might be them because I think he definitely plays to their style. So I think that's good. And he does have Bobrovsky to learn from. Rick, why don't you lead us off with 12?
I shall do that. Okay, this is another big move up. I think this is the one I have the most moving up spots. Up 21 spots, I believe. Okay, so at number 12 from number 33 is Arthur Kaliev. Excuse me.
Really? Kaliev, huh? That was good.
He's played 188 games, 35 goals, 36 assists, 71 points. I remember his draft year doing a draft prospect video on him. A sniper. He hasn't shown that yet with only 35 goals, but I think there's potential there for him. I just they said that he's he's kind of how is it put, like lazy around the puck, or it doesn't get a lot of assists, but I mean he's got a little bit more than he has goals, so maybe more well-rounded than everyone thought. But yeah, I have him moving up that much, and Arthur Kaliev.
Harry.
All right, my number 12. With the Wild, instead of picking Matt Boldy, they take a massive decline and pick Cam York instead. Alex already glazed him, so did Cam, so I'm just going to leave it at that, Cam York.
Bukaki. Oh, did I say that? I'm sorry.
Wow.
All right, I'm going to do a pick. I'm surprised no one has said yet. I'm going to say Shane Pinto at 12. Guy has not had the opportunity really to play because he seems with the suspension crap he had. But 27 points in 41 games last year. That's a 54-point pace for an 82-game season. He had 35 the year before that. He had a 20-goal campaign. I think this kid has not yet scratched his surface. You got a top 6 center, I think, for the long term when he hits his prime. I liked Shane Pinto's game. I wanted the Flyers to go after him. I think next year he could sniff over 60 points. Shane Pinto, I have at 12.
Yeah, no, that's a good pick. Matt?
For me at 12,
all right, let's go to Vogel.
This is
just kidding. Sorry, Nordy.
This is more so too just on potential because I've seen how good this kid is, but his team's not treating him right. It is a big jump, but I'm going Nick Robertson. I think Nick Robertson,
Toronto, right?
Toronto.
Yeah,
I think
Toronto
he's a really, really good hockey player. I think he's just in a bad situation in Toronto right now because I think he deserves to play top 6 minutes. He is that good.
I was gonna say, where would you put him? Because I don't know if he's a top 6 player.
I think he is. It's certainly there. The skill set's there. The high hockey IQ's there, but the Leafs haven't used him properly. They still haven't signed him, which is.
And he wants to trade.
No, he wants a trade.
Yes, I did see that.
Requested that out. Yeah.
And I don't blame him because I think he should be playing top 6 minutes. I think he is that good, and I think he's deserving of going top 15.
I'll meet you in the middle. I'll say middle 6 minutes.
No, that's like I said. I mean,
I don't think he's a top line guy, but I think he's a middle of the pack person.
So when I say top 6, I'm kind of more talking about like second line. So I think
Okay.
I do agree. I think mid six is probably a better terminology, but yeah, I think he's a solid. Should be playing second line minutes.
I think so. And I think that's why he requested a trade, because he's not going to have that time on those
Right.
two. I mean, look at the Toronto's top two lines.
Yeah,
And
that's
right.
that's difficult to compete with. Vogel.
Fuck them too, right, Rick?
Yeah,
Jesus.
I can't. I'm not allowed to use the words
thing we
I
can agree
would
on.
say. I would say more, but I'm not allowed
God.
to say those words.
You got him going.
One thing we can agree on.
I might have just got myself fired from talking Habs for that.
Hey. No, he wants out of Toronto. He wants out of the situation.
Yeah,
That's true.
He
Can't be
wants
that
out of the
bad.
problem. That's fine. It's not like he's looking to stay with them and make
True.
another $11 million contract. But go ahead, Vogel.
I agree with Harry here. I got Cam York, and I'm also not going to add to the past glazing that's happened.
You're unbelievable. You know
There
that?
you go.
You're
I'm
unbelievable.
just not trying to glaze right now.
Good defenseman.
Poor choice of
Good
words.
ad.
I got Kirby Dach at 12. He drops 8 or 9 spots for me. I think Minnesota could have used a center. Again, I think why he's just so low for me is because the injuries. I still think he is a top 15 player in that draft. I think he's got the talent for it, and I'm excited to actually see it develop in Montreal. Fuck Montreal. But yeah, I think, I don't really know. That's all I got. I'm not going to glaze on Kirby Dach.
No
You
glazing.
better not.
Can't.
Better
No.
not.
No glazing.
But I know Harry. I know Harry wants Cole Caufield to glaze all over him. So I mean, that's.
Oh
where we're
yes,
at.
I do. Him and Yager.
Ew. Harry, lead us off with pick number 13.
All right, so for the 13th overall pick, with absolutely no bias whatsoever, absolutely no bias with this pick. Instead of Spencer Knight, the Florida Panthers are picking a current Montreal Canadian, and that is Alex Newhook. I'm saying Newhook is a guy. We've said it. He's speedy. He's got skill. He's got that potential, I think, to be a good second line center. Just didn't work in Colorado. Of course, he's in Montreal now, where he's doing fairly better for himself. I think we can all agree. Should be stuck on that second line with Kirby Dach, assuming they're both healthy. Just hit 100 points at the end of last season, so congrats to him on that. He moves up 3 spots. He's got 42 goals in his career. Newhook, he's a very solid guy. I think he's gonna be a good for the long.
I don't know whose song that was, but I was
14
vibing.
the year after, 15 the year after, so he should be penciled in for 16 goals this year. Newhook's a solid player. At 13, I think Florida would have very much liked him for Anton Lundell.
All right, Alex.
I also have Alex Newhook at 13. I think Harry, Naughty, and everyone else said their piece. I don't have much more to add. The kid's a lightning bolt. That's about all I'll say is I got Newhook at 13.
Wow. Nordy.
At 13, I actually have Spencer Knight right where he is. I agree with Vogel. I think Spencer Knight's a great goaltender. Obviously, he had to go into the player assistance program for a little bit, but the talent's definitely there. I mean, we've all seen it. The talent's certainly there. And I wish him nothing but the best. But I do think he has the potential to be a top goalie in this league.
Vogel.
I have Shane Pinto.
It's a good pick. It's a good pick.
That's what I'm here for. Just good picks.
He's here for the glazing.
There's a no
I'm
glaze
actually-
zone.
There's no glaze zone. Sorry.
No glazing.
What's your
And that
what's
on
your
your
favorite kind of donut? Is it chocolate?
Such a very funny way to say that.
Chocolate glaze?
Krispy Kreme glazed donut.
How do you like your donut holes?
Glazed.
Just asking for a friend, Vogel.
Come on now.
I'm just asking for a friend.
And
on
it's the
now.
perfect size, too,
Okay, and we're moving on to my pick in Spencer Knight. I'm going to agree with Nordy. I think he was drafted perfectly where he is, especially at the time with what Florida was going through. So I think it was a perfect pick for them. Rick.
I got moving up from number 32. I'm agreeing. I don't forget who said it, but Shane Pinto from Ottawa. But even so, it's from Ottawa. He's another good player. 140 games, 30 goals, 40 assists, 70 points. I mean, he's young. He's getting half a point a game already. yeah, I think, and you consider everybody else behind him and all that. His numbers are better, and he's a good player. So, like Alex said, he's a good player for Ottawa going forward in the future when some of those old guys leave.
Alex, why don't you take us through number 14?
Number 14, I have Kochetkov out in Carolina. I think he impressed the crap out of me last year when they had their goaltending issues. I think he should have honestly got a little more love for the Calder last year. He was absolutely fantastic. They had over a 900 save percentage last year in a really tough situation. I get he had a good defense in front of him, but this kid's good. I think he's a future number one in this league for a good amount of years. I got Kochetkov at 14.
Nice.
Nordy.
Yeah, no, I'm in agreement there. I like Kochetkov at 14. I think he's a fantastic goalie, and he's only going to get better.
2 goalies in the top 15, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that. Vogel.
I have Peyton Krebs here.
Hey.
I do. I think that he's someone that has been left off so far. 4 years so far. I mean, 215 games, 66 points. He's not putting up, top tier numbers, but I do think he's a solid player.
Was he on the Cup team in Vegas?
I don't think so, but
I don't think so either.
I don't know. I think he got traded at the deadline then.
Yeah, no, he got traded before the season. That was during in the Eichel trade, November 4th, 2021.
Yes.
There you go.
I got Shane Pinto at 14.
Yep.
That's where I have to put him. I think the Flyers needed a center. I think they would have been looking at Kirby Dach.
Not at the time they didn't. They had Nolan Patrick at the time, so we thought he was the guy.
Oh yeah, you're doing great with him. How's he doing?
No, but you said they needed a center. They didn't need one in 2019. They thought Nolan Patrick was going to be the guy, and then he had the.
Well, they still need a number 2 center behind Nolan Patrick, even if he did pan out.
I mean,
they had Sean Couturier at the time too.
Yeah, they had
I think only 24 at that year. But anyway, continue.
But Pinto can also play on the wing, so he's also a winger. So he I think that's where you probably would have looked at him. Yeah, that I'm not going to echo any more than what everyone else has already said about Shane. Rick.
Yeah, I got moving up 3 spots. I agree with Vogel there. Peyton Krebs, who I kind of thought would go earlier than he did, so I think it's appropriate here. He's a 2-way guy, I believe, and a bottom 6 kind of guy.
Very defensive guy.
A good, solid defensive player, but also can put up a little bit of, he can contribute. I like Peyton Krebs there.
Yeah, I'll say I do like Peyton Krebs. I didn't have him going 5th in the top 15 just because I'm a huge Krebs fan. I didn't want to be that biased and put like 5 players I like in the top 15, but he would probably be my 16 or 17. I agree with Cam down there. Fuck the Bruins. But Shane Pinto's my number 14. We've glazed him enough. He likes to gamble. That's all I'll say. And he took a bit of a gamble agreeing to stay in Ottawa.
Yeah, but who doesn't?
Well,
Nordy, round us off.
Everyone but Rick.
It's a good time.
Nordy, why I have a gambling problem.
Same.
And I'd love to bet on it, but I can't. Nordy, why don't you round us off with the final pick, or that we'll be doing pick number 15?
Yeah, so at 15th, and for my own bias reasons, and because I think it'd be cool to have 4 Habs in the top 15, even though I do think this particular player would have gone.
You guys were yelling at me about how I was doing my draft, and the 3 Montreal Glazers here are freaking just being like, it'd be cool to have for my top.
Let's hear what he has to say. I'm curious.
Well, first of all, on Cam's comment about Habs Glazers, like we can all agree that Dach, Caufield, and Newhook all still deserve to go in the top.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that.
I'm adding one more because I'm biased, but I do think this player is a top 20 player in this draft. Like, I think he probably somewhere around 17, 18 realistically, but I'm going to be biased to throw him in for this video. It's Jaden Struble. Jaden Struble is such a dynamic defenseman.
Way too high.
Okay.
Not even close.
Okay, that's a glaze.
That is
That's
high.
a glaze. Oh
that
my
is
God.
That is just
I could just see
I don't
like
give a-
cream.
I don't
I
give
could
a
just
crap.
see everything going down his face right now. Oh my
Yep,
God.
that's a glaze. Yep.
Now I'm regretting leading off with him. All right,
You
so
ever
we're
see
going to need
that
to cut
meme
that
of
out.
that girl who gets all the hot dogs thrown at her? That's him on Struble for that.
Oh my God. Yeah, oh my God. I almost just said, oh my God, the Glizzy King over there with the
Oh
freaking
my
shit.
God.
Jaden Struble at 15?
Struble.
No, not even close.
No.
I would have taken Johnny Beecher over Struble.
All right.
Oh, you're an idiot.
Cam,
You're a
Cam,
dumbass.
I would
You're
have done
taking
that.
Beecher over
Don't
Struble.
Stop.
Hey,
Struble's
he's
a
pretty- he's a good
consistent in
player.
the NHL.
Yeah.
Jaden Struble
So
does
isn't
everything.
Beecher. He's
tough,
just as
hits,
consistent as Beecher. What are you
he's
talking about?
insanely good on his skates.
Beecher's a
And
fourth
he is
liner.
a
Struble's
hell of
like
a
a top
hack.
six
No, I'll
defenseman.
take
That's much
Struble.
better.
But let's stop that. Moving on.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'll take Struble.
Like I
I'll
said,
take
realistically,
Yeah, let's move on here.
Struble's
Let's move on to the
probably-
next
Yeah,
person.
don't even
My
team, but
you on this
I wanted to
one.
throw him in the video because why?
Yeah. Sorry,
So I'm
Cam.
throwing him
Let's
in.
move on. Let's move on. My 15th pick played 52 games last year on a really, really, really good team. I'm going to go John Beecher.
Yes.
You know, I
That's
don't want to
crazy.
join the Glaze train
You-
like
That had
Norton,
to be
like
planned.
Norton
Now
did
that's-
there,
plan
but
that out.
That's
Yeah,
as
I
big a
don't-
glaze. That's a bigger glaze than
Oh my
Struble.
God.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't
Yeah,
say
fuck
that.
the Bruins.
Oh, Jaden
think
Struble's
Beecher-
miles better than John Beecher, Cam. Get your head
Okay.
out of your ass.
Okay, sure.
Can Beecher play all
Sure.
three positions?
grinder.
What?
Can he
since
play
when does
defense, forward,
Jaden
and
Struble-
goaltender?
Like, what are you talking about?
Oh.
What are you talking about? Come on.
Oh no,
Talk to
Jaden
me.
Struble did make like 3 saves in a game last year, so he played goalie.
Oh yeah, wow, he's so
But
amazing.
he's also so dynamic as a D-man. He actually does a lot of good things in the ozone as well. Like he's a
You're
really,
in the
really good
ozone.
hockey player.
We're really good. So you're gonna say that's glazing. So you're gonna say Beecher is glazing.
You're
right?
both glazing, but here's the thing. That was worse than Struble.
It was.
that-
Thank
No,
you,
I'm
Alex.
not- I'm
Thank
They're
you,
not-
both
Alex.
glazing.
I'm not-
But
I
one
mean-
was a worse glaze than the other.
No, I don't think so. Matt up there is being a real
Not
homer.
even
I'm
at
just
all.
going by
You're both
facts. So I'm
glazing.
just going by
You're both
facts
being
down
homers.
here.
Struble
Facts,
had 10
man.
po-
Only
had,
the
had
facts,
the same
man.
amount of points
Only
in 4
facts.
more games, and he also had, I believe, a similar plus minus than him. But you both said that they're both consistent. No, or you didn't say
Neither
Beecher
one
was
of
a
them
consistent
should even
NHLer.
get the top 15.
Struble should be
No.
better if he has a similar plus minus to a fourth liner on a great team. That should be a plus. That should be a plus to Struble.
Great team, buddy. Our fourth line was scraps last year. Our fourth
Yeah,
line was
I
made
mean,
from
Milan
you're
Lucic,
not-
he
scraps.
does
you're
like
not
a
helping-
scrap
you're not
without
helping
hockey
our cause
players,
here.
so.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
my
wait,
God.
no. Actually, no, Vogel, you bring up a point then. If your fourth line was made up of scraps and John Beecher
Oh, I
was
didn't
on
say
that
that.
fourth line.
I didn't say that.
No, but
Scraps.
Cam said that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm
Who
just-
are the other players on our fourth line consistently? Seriously, look at it.
No, but that's what I'm. So you're gonna have Beecher over Struble if Beecher scraps.
Beecher also has a pretty good I don't know, face-off percentage. I don't know. I
Okay,
got rid
Jaden
of the
Struble's a
stats.
fucking defenseman. He doesn't take face off.
Struble plays better
Struble's also
Maybe
defensively.
he
much
should grow
better
up and
skater.
take some face-offs.
Yeah, maybe he should. Oh, Mister, he can play every position. I'm
Ooh,
sorry.
I can't win a face-off.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, what
Struble,
are you
he
doing,
plays wing. He
loser?
does not play center. He
He's,
plays
yeah,
wing.
plays wing.
Johnny Beecher is 54. Johnny Beecher is 55% in the face-off dot.
Yeah.
So you're gonna tell
Is
me
what,
like, no,
2
I'm
games?
sorry. He's a good fourth line center.
in
That
his
is a
2
good
career
fourth line
games
center.
or something. He's got
52
career-
games played.
He had
All right,
10
if
goals
Beecher, if
last year.
Beecher is
That's
apparently a
double
top
digits.
15 pick, Jake Evans is the top
He had
15 pick
10
in
points last
2014 then.
I don't think Beecher's a top 15 pick, but he's definitely better than Struble. I'm sorry. We
No,
can
the
get
hell
into
he's
that.
not.
No.
Get your head out of your ass, dude.
All right.
Okay.
We got to move on. Alex, what's
That's
your
a horrible
Cam's turn?
take.
We're skipping everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
I
to
have
Rick.
Capo.
Go to Rick.
I have Capo Caco at 15.
All right, perfect.
Okay.
Because
That's,
I think Montreal would still take him at right wing. I think that
Let's-
would make sense for Montreal
Yeah.
at that point.
Let's be
He'd be
fair
a
here.
good-
That's
he'd
been
be a
the
better
most
option over
reasonable of the
Anderson
3
Gallagher.
choices we've had so far, and I'm not even gonna put Capo Caco in my top 15. But that's at least reasonable compared to the.
It's
other.
not your turn, Alex. No one gives
I
a
would
shit.
save that spot for John Beecher.
Yeah, save it for John Beecher.
All right.
Making me laugh, cough and laugh.
All right.
Rick's pick is Jaden Struble.
At 15. No.
Shut up and let me speak.
No. Listen, somebody's
Please
serious.
tell me it's
At
Johnny
15,
Beach. I'll
I've
freaking
got
trust myself.
At 15, I've got from Finland a center that we need, Jesperi Kotkaniemi. Okay, I thought it was funnier than it was. No, I've got Spencer Knight.
That was a joke.
I've got Spencer Knight here.
Okay.
One of the reasons for me for the goalie, he's the goalie in the first round. 57 games, got 32 wins in 57 games.
Mhm.
That's pretty good. Now he's on a good team, yes.
Yeah.
But that's still pretty good with a
Yeah.
291 goals against and a 906 save percentage. Not bad numbers for a young goalie. So I got Spencer Knight there. I think, like you guys, this guy could be a starting goalie in the league. Yeah.
I don't
He's
think
still-
it'll be long either.
I
until
think when
is.
he gets a shot, he's really gonna like go into that role.
Bobrovsky's
He's gonna make
played a
that
lot of
transition
hockey.
very easily.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
Bob's
he's
getting
played a lot
old
of
too,
hockey.
isn't
Yeah, he's
isn't
getting
Bob?
older.
36, I think.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah.
So 2 more years and you're gonna see Spencer Knight. Maybe even you might starting to see him take over.
Oh, you'll see him this year for sure. He'll start taking over this year for sure. They'll be
Gotta
splitting.
Depends how Bob does.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Bob's not a great regular season goaltender. He's not.
True.
No.
He's better in the playoffs.
But when he's on, he's on. I mean,
Yeah.
All right.
he's fantastic. He's great.
Yeah.
For
Eric.
my 15, firstly, I'll say I don't have
James.
Spencer Knight at 15 just because so far what we've seen, I think it's too small. We've seen him over small sample sizes. We haven't seen him over that full backups role or even the starter in Florida. I don't have Capo Caco here, so this dude goes from second overall to completely undrafted in the top 15.
Oh, come on. You
I
can't-
like
that's
Capo
what I have
Caco. I like Caco, but I think he's at that 16, 17. He just misses
Yeah,
out.
he drops out. Yeah.
I will say the person who I picked, this is going to be a little controversial.
Jaden
Who I
Struble.
See, you made him lag again. Way to go, Cam.
because I have Jaden
You
Struble.
just
No, I
had-
don't. I have Raphael Harpenard. No, I don't. But the person.
Oh my
the
God,
person
he's
who I
going
picked-
another
am I
half.
lagging or am I?
Yeah.
You're good. You're good.
Am I lagging? Or,
No one speak when he speaks because that's I feel like when he lags. So
Good.
go ahead. Brett.
Oh.
Yeah.
He'll come. Be patient.
okay, are we back? Okay, I think we're
Yeah.
back. We're going through another lag spike. I think right when it.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
we'll hold off for a second, but I'll keep saying the person that I'm picking is somebody that nobody's mentioned here, and I think it's someone who. Oh, I think we're actually good now. It's someone that I think is very solid. I think they're a little bit underrated in terms of undrafted NHLers, and that is number 15, who would have been eligible this year. I'm going Arbor Jack at 15th overall.
Oh my God.
He was
Glaze.
undrafted.
Oh,
He was
Gliz.
eligible for this draft, and I'm
Gliz.
picking him.
I'm not
I'm
going to argue
saying it.
that.
Gliz.
Arbor
He's
Jack
not
guy-
better than the other
He's
players
better than
mentioned
John
on this
Beecher.
part.
Come on, don't
He's
let the
not.
homerism get in the
Why
way.
are you all
He's-
you
He's
people
big,
being
he's
homers?
tough, he's physical, he fights, he's got good defensive game. He
Oh,
shoots
God,
the
he's a
puck
bu-
literally
he's
through
possibly also
the
a
net.
7D man, buddy. Like, I mean, come on. I'm
Dude,
sorry.
on the Bruins, he'd be a second
No.
pairing guy. He's better than
No, he
Matt
wouldn't.
Grizzly, dog.
The-
Yes, he would be.
That's not
Grizzly's
saying
gone.
much.
I think he's a
still-
legitimate first round pick. I don't know about 15, but I think I've heard a lot of scouts say that. I've read some
A
stuff.
lot of people like
It
him.
would
I
have been
wouldn't
a
put him
first-
15. But
would
I
have been
think
a
he was
first round
first-round
pick. Should
I
have
agree
been.
with that.
Definitely
I-
not 15.
I'm
Sorry.
picking him at 15th because I had to mention him. He was undrafted, would have gone in this year. If we were doing all 30, which obviously we wouldn't because we're already almost nearly an hour and a half. If we were doing all 30, I would have put him lower, but I wanted to give him a mention because shout out my homie Arbor Jack guy. He sends me special pictures. No, but legit, I did
Oh.
want to mention Arbor Jack guy because of course Habs fans, we love him. We love the sheriff. We're hoping that the deputy's coming over in a couple years, and
Oh my God.
Jack
Bobby
Guy's my
Bruins is
15.
better.
Let's be honest. He's going to be here within a year or two. When he's beating up Bruins left and right, he's giving them headshots. We're all going to love him. So fuck
Yeah.
the Bruins, fuck the Leafs, fuck the Sens. Let's
Nope,
talk
don't
about
like the headshots
talk
comment.
about Raphael
see.
Harpenard or
We'll
something.
see.
Oh
No,
boy.
that's
We
fine.
will see.
We'll see how Nikita Zadorov responds to that. Good luck dealing with him.
Bro could barely take on Brendan Gallagher.
Hey,
Dude
just
had
remember
to
Nick
cheap shot
Delorier.
Gallagher from behind to get an up on him.
We also have Andrew Peak, who's a known tough guy. We have a lot of big guys on the team.
no.
buddy.
Fourth
Hey,
liner,
everyone,
Those
Nick
guys
Delorier
wouldn't
would
stand
kick
up to
anyone's
Jack
ass.
We'll
in
see.
any-
Let the game speak for himself.
Okay.
We'll see.
Delorier, well, yeah, Delorier's a fucking
We're the
can't-
best fighting team in
can't.
hockey. The Flyers won 23-1 in fights last year.
because that's all you can win. That's literally all you can win is fights.
Yeah,
We
so
need-
beat
the
the shit
Flyers
out
are
of
shit.
We got Lane
He's top
Hudson.
fight, 'cause that's the
Okay,
only winning he'll be doing in Philly.
Lane Hudson will take
God.
on guys 6
Lane
inches
Hudson's
taller
the
than
size
him.
This
of my
turned into
thumb.
a sin bin episode. Like, what the fuck are we
Lane
doing?
Hudson's the size of my thumb.
And he'll take on a guy bigger
still
than,
kick the
than,
Yes.
than
No, he
Delorier.
wouldn't, Harry. He'd be
Yes,
carried
he
off on a
would.
stretcher to
Dude,
Montreal.
every
Hospital.
Habs fan watching this video is going to be like, damn, even I could admit, like, those three are glazing a little bit.
Oh, I'm
All
Yeah,
right,
well, you know
well,
what? You're not real
Right.
Habs fans if you think we're glazing then.
Oh,
I'm
God.
doing it on
I'm gonna
purpose.
make
Any real
five
Habs fans,
now.
tweet at me
Alex,
at
make-
her.
Okay,
on X.
wait. Alex, what's your pick? We didn't hear.
Bobby Brink. No, I'm just kidding. I got Alex
Piece
Vlasic
of
from
shit. I
Chicago.
would-
Honestly, it would have been better than fucking Jaden Struble and whatever Arbor Jack guy.
John
Bobby
Beecher,
Brink,
I agree. It
actually,
would have
you
been
could
better than
argue
John
might be a
Beecher.
first round pick, but I wouldn't put him top 15. But Bobby
No.
Brink's actually decent.
I think he's
middle of the
fringe. He's in that 16 to 20 range for me.
But I'd say Alex Vlasic from Chicago. He just got a 6-year extension. Good defensive defenseman.
That's a good
And
pick.
not much of an offensive game. I will say that. But one thing you got to mention about this stands out to me. I'm not usually someone on the plus minus train. We all know how bad that Chicago Blackhawks team was last year, right? He was only -4 on that team, and he played almost
They
every
had a hockey team last year.
Yeah, he played 76 games. He was only a -4.
This kid's a very, very good defensive defenseman. I don't think Alex Vlasic gets enough credit for what he did. He just got signed to a 6-year extension. Well-deserved, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I almost put him a little bit higher. Next year, at this time, I might put Dustin Wolf over him, but Alex Vlasic is an underrated defenseman. I'd put him at 15.
I like that. He was close for me too. He was in that 17-18 range, I think.
I'm still not over the fact that you guys put.
Why don't you guys just turn this into a sin bin?
I can't. I just out of all the players available, and you pick those two.
If I wasn't fucking around with the 15th overall pick, I would.
What is this? What is this? Fantasy football? The last pick in the draft? It's
Yeah,
like
it's
it
not
doesn't
7.
matter. So you pick Aaron Hernandez just for shits and giggles? Like, what are we doing?
I mean, yeah, of course. The last
Oh, you
draft
can
in football
pick
doesn't
dead
matter.
people?
Oh, God
Oh, no.
Almighty! All right, no, we'll definitely turn that into a sin bin because I'll debate that all day. I'm with it. Hey, I
Well,
respect
Arbor
my,
Jack
I
or
respect
John
my,
Beecher because
my
it's obvious.
hibernation
Arbor
vote.
Jack.
Hey, listen, I respect my hibernation co-host over there, Johnny Beecher, as a valid pick for not 15, but somewhere.
Late first round, maybe.
Somewhere in the
Saying
draft.
that, you got to say Arbor
He's
Jack
definitely a
late
guy
first
that gets
rounder.
drafted.
He is
Just
someone
not
who
15.
gets drafted.
He gets drafted, yeah.
If Beecher's the guy who gets drafted, Jack Guy is too, and so is Struble.
Oh, I don't disagree. I think Jack Guy definitely should have been drafted, but I don't.
Okay,
I don't
that
think
we can
at
agree
all
on. Then.
he's in the top 15. I think he's a second round guy.
No, late first rounder. He's a late first rounder.
No, he's not bad.
In a redraft, easily, he's a late first rounder.
Jack,
I mean-
I got to agree with Harry. The fact that all these NHL experts have been wanting to get this guy via trade, I think that stands out by itself. I'll
Yeah,
give him
he's-
that.
Cam, I'll say this. You can't tell me that guys like Jordan Spence, Alexei Protas, Pavel Dorofeyev, and Ryan Johnson, Ryan Suzuki get picked over Arbor Jack Guy.
I don't know. Maybe they might.
No,
Why did you
not
do that?
5
Maybe
years
they might.
after. No.
Ryan Suzuki hasn't played a single game in the NHL.
Yeah, not in a redraft. Come on.
Maybe.
No,
Yeah, in a redraft. Like,
you don't.
All right. I think that does it for our top. Does anyone else have
early
anything to
fifth round
add?
pick. Fuck the
to
Hurricane.
Jaden Struble? I think next week we do a tribute to Jaden Struble because that's how much Matt loves him.
Just to say, next week's pod is going to be just a few days before camps open. So I imagine we'll be talking a lot about training camps coming up. So look to that next week.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't got our itinerary for itinerary. That's not the right word, but we haven't got it all worked out yet. And yeah, that's it. Thanks everybody for watching. We appreciate it. We'll be back. It's every week through the season, so hopefully you guys will join us for that. And I don't know. I got nothing else to add. Anybody got anything to add at the end? Nothing.
Monday,
Yeah.
Richkoff plays hockey this week.
No one cares, Alex.
I do.
I mean, back to reality.
That is
Yeah,
reality.
be sure to give us a like, a follow. We're also on TikTok, ladies and gentlemen. So go follow us at Don't Puck with Media on TikTok. Right now we're doing a couple videos, one hype video per day per team. So go check those out. And like Rick said, we're gonna be back every week We also have an Instagram. Go follow us on everything and be sure to tune into all the side shows that we have as well. We're looking forward to a new season of hockey.
And with that, we're going to say good night. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Till next time, stay safe out there. Peace out, everybody. And we're going to leave you with something that I didn't put up earlier. So, once again, rest in peace, Johnny and Matthew.